Recording in progress. Okay, guys, welcome to our July Show Up and Show Out. Tonight we have our guest trainer. Yes, she's a resident trainer, Caitlyn Hewitt. She is a star consultant. She's amazing. And she is going to talk tonight about team building and or networking and some other things. She's going to give us all the great tips before we get started. Let's see, Amanda's here. I don't know if she wants to talk or not. And Caitlyn is here. And if I'm missing anybody else, I apologize. But I wanted to just ask really quick, since we are recording this and I can post it to my YouTube later and share to our team. Caitlyn and Amanda, if you want to, you don't have to. Would you want to share just one quick takeaway from SFR, the virtual training, live training, anything significant that you took away from SFR? Cincy Family Reunion, that's our annual convention.
It was the easy crowd. I feel like all hit us like right in the face. Like easy robs you of proud.
Are you there, Caitlyn?
Yes, can you hear me?
It kind of broke up a little bit. No. Whatever it was you said, it kind of broke up. I was trying to let it go through, but it didn't never get right.
Let's see. This Wi-Fi is supposed to be legit. Hold on.
Breaking up to me. I don't know. I can hear you fine, Caitlyn.
Okay, cool deal. I was like,
I think you might
have the Wi-Fi.
Okay, so I have muted super quick before. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, what Caitlyn said, easy robs you proud. That stuck with me. Also, you can give up, but not on a hard day. That one stuck with me too. Just how you touched on this, Katie, but just how important it is for us to freaking get together because we are better together. So I'm gonna stop and let Caitlyn go.
Wait.
I took a lot of SFR.
Brittany, is this Brittany Aiken? Can you tell us something from SFR that you took away from it, if you want?
Yes, ma'am, it is me. Sorry, I just got done with a softball game, so I'm like super sweaty and everything right now. Like, bleh. But definitely, I would have to say the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway was definitely not quitting on your worst day, quit on your best day. Because there has definitely been times where not necessarily that I wanted to quit, but I definitely wanted to step away for a little bit. And I've had to do that just because of personal reasons. But I mean, then there's been personal reasons that Cincy has saved me from my like mental state going down the drain. So that really resonates with me big time for sure.
Cool. I love it. I love everything you girls have said. I 100% agree with it. My biggest takeaway, I told the girls at the meeting we had on Saturday, to me, it was complete, total human connection. Am I breaking up still? If I am, somebody type it in the chat because I don't know what I'll do. But just seeing people, meeting people, seeing them face to face, hugging people, like it doesn't, I mean, Zoom is great. It's great for people that, that aren't local, that live 4 states away across the globe. Like yes, Zoom is wonderful, but it does not take their place of human connection. And we, in God's design, we need one another. It's the reason he made Eve for Adam, like for real, we need each other. And just seeing people in person, you can't beat it. We need that community. We need it. So that was my biggest takeaway from SFR. And it wasn't anything super profound, but nothing tops the energy of being in a room full of people who are excited about the same things you're excited about. who are there for a common purpose. It's unmatched. So anyway, that was my takeaway from SFR. And Caitlin, it is your turn to talk about team building and networking and anything else you want to tell us about. We are all ears, hun.
All right. So I literally drove down the road to get Wi-Fi for this, y'all. So I don't have much. I probably don't have 30 minutes worth, but I just want to start by saying Katie had texted me probably a month ago and said, you know, what are your weaknesses basically? Like, what are you struggling with? And I said, networking and team building. And she says, oh, cool. Well, you study that and then lead this meeting next month. Okay. So anyhow, I did do some research, and I've trained or I've watched trainings. And I've actually, I don't know, I really didn't try, but one of my girls, Katie, she's up here tonight. She reached out and joined. And then I had Cora come back and, you know, she reinstated. So it was kind of crazy. After a month of actually focusing on team building and networking, I had to join. So anyhow, I actually did a little chart. I don't know, let's see if I can see it. You see it? It's like a little, what is it, like a pie chart? I don't know. I took it old school. So I have networking on one side and team building on the other. And then in the middle, I put purpose, or the Venn diagram. Yes. The purpose was in the middle. That's, you know, so on one side, I have networking. I Googled, the first thing I did, I Googled networking. Like, what is the definition of networking? You know, so the definition of networking is interacting with others to exchange information and develop social contacts. And that is basically what we do for work in Cincy. So one of the biggest things I do for networking is social media. The social media stories on Instagram, I link it to Facebook. So I have, you know, viewers on both sides. I do Snapchat stories. I just really stay up to date on social media. But another way of networking in Cincy would be your parties, like parties, signing hosts for parties, communicating with the people that they bring into parties. So that is two different ways. You can go the internet route, or you can go hands-on with parties. And we had talked about this at the meeting Saturday. We've gotten away from doing home parties and events and things like that, but that's what Cincy started out on. And I really want to get back into that because I think it would be fun to connect in person with customers. We talk about, you know, meeting all the time in person with teams and the teamies, but how often do you really face to face, you know, meet your customers, the one that you can. I mean, I do have people that buy out of state, but I'll find other ways to network with them. That's the good thing about online party links and, like she said, Facebook and all that stuff. I don't want to go too fast. I feel like I'm going to just read this chart. But I hope that sounded clear and made sense to you guys. Another thing that I do with networking is opportunity packets, and I've shared them here before on Warm Blessings. Opportunity packets are really good to just hand out to strangers. So, you know, you build relationships on social media with your followers. With the parties, you build conversation, word of mouth, but you have to meet new people to keep building your business. So opportunity packets allow me to give a little packet of information of the business, of myself, fragrance samples, things like that. And you give them out to people you run into uptown. I mean, I've given them to my Domino's delivery person multiple times, different ones. I've done it at Wendy's drive-through one time, and it really lights somebody's day getting something like that. Not necessarily, you know, all the time, because I haven't heard from my Domino's people, but I still got my information out there. And yes, if y'all do have questions, please comment. And y'all just pause me because I'm nervous. I'm not even looking at y'all. But anyhow, that is basically what I have on networking. My strongest way of networking, like I said, is social media. So that's what I stick with. I found my strongest, you know, skill, and I'm using it that way. But like I said, I want to switch it up some and do some parties home parties and network with people in person, because I do feel like that would get more people excited, seeing the excitement in real life. So team building is my other side. Team building is very important, I feel like. I've had a team pretty much ever since I've started, but it's varied. But I think, you know, everyone, I mean, I can't speak really for them, but I feel like everyone at least felt welcomed and felt like they could talk to me. And that is a big thing to me. I just want, you know, everyone that joins under me to feel comfortable. So one thing to think about with team building, how do you want to work together, and why does it matter? Like, why does it matter if you work with your team or not? So you have to think about that. And the reason why it matters to me is, one, I get ideas from my team. Like, idea sharing is amazing. I learned so much from my essential consultants than I could ever even, I mean, I would have never thought of half of the stuff. Even, I'm going to brag about Katie. She just joined, like, just got her kit. She's already done a Facebook video unboxing it. I never did that when I first started because I was scared. I was nervous. But if I would have, I felt like it would have gave me more confidence earlier in. So I love that. So I love the idea sharing. It also increases motivation. I feel like I'll brag about Tangi. She's not up here, but I get so much motivation from my teeny Tangi because she's always willing to work. She's always willing to dream. She's always willing to just have a positive outlook with Scentsy. Even when it's a slow month, she has nothing negative to say. She's always positive, and I love that. I feel like it rubs off on me. So it always increases my motivation talking to my team, because afterwards I'm like, oh yes, okay, so I just told them to do samples and recruit. Okay, so I need to do samples and recruit. So me telling them, it motivates me to do the same thing. So I really feel big on that. And then the accountability, like that falls right into what I just said. If I tell, you know, one of my team needs to do something, I need to be accountable and do it too. And if I didn't have conversations with my team, I probably wouldn't work as much as I do. Just like when Tangi asks me questions, it kind of fires me up that day. So it's like she'll ask me something and then I'll get in the Scentsy mood. So it definitely helps with team building. Team building, I forgot the definition because I made this chart and I didn't write it down, but common sense. Team building is like working together, building your team up, building each other up. And it's very important in this line of work. It really is. So the purpose of networking and team building is growth. You grow with both of these, and they are both technically, to me, income producing. Like I said, when we're working together as a team, I get a lot of stuff done. When I'm networking, I get people asking questions. I get swipes, like people swipe up and say, oh my goodness, that's so pretty. And then we conversate and open the door to making a sale. So they are hand in hand for sure. With my team and my social media people, I always, you know, give them the option that I'll send them mail. I can send them emails with their email address. I always like their personal post once I know them, just to keep them comfortable. Like I said, they're not just Scentsy to me. They are people. So I always try to make sure they understand that relationship too. But that is pretty much on my chart here. If y'all have questions, I feel like I went through it so fast, but that's all I got, guys. I am taking questions now. Let me get in this chat with 18 things in here.
Sorry, I was responding excuse me, to Haley's talking about, she said she's super nervous about posting and or networking. And I had actually written a note down to like go on our team page and ask about this, but I think since we've got a little bit of time, let's chat. Let's get ourselves off mute and throw in some suggestions if you have them. So my question was going to be to the team page. How can we tiptoe? How can we get you guys to tiptoe? Just dip your toe in the water of sharing, posting on social media. Haley said she's noticed a difference from it, and I asked if it was a good difference or a bad difference, and she said not a good way, because she's lacking in the sales. She honestly believes that her customers and potential customers don't see the products. Erin says that public speaking is the worst for her. Okay, that's okay, Haley. I'm sorry you're sick, honey. But and I feel like that's a fear for a lot of people, public speaking. I almost threw up in college when I had to get up and read my paper, my essay in front of a theater full of people. And we had to do that in order to graduate. I thought I was going to literally fall out. I don't enjoy public speaking, but I'll tell you what, with you guys, because y'all are like my friends, whether I've met you or not, like I will go live in our team page on Warm Blessings and talk to the wall or talk to 1,000 people. I don't care. Like, I don't care who sees it or who sees it later or who sees it live. I've just gotten so used to talking to you guys, it doesn't bother me anymore. So if that's what you need to do, if you need to come on our team page and hey, Julie, if you need to come on our team page and go live and share a tip and your face not even be in the video, like, hey, do your thing. It's what it's there for. I will tell you this, since live video became a thing in 2016 on Facebook, I have become so much more confident in doing live video from doing live videos for you guys in our Warm Blessings page. And I used to start them with like not even really being in them much. So if you're thinking about like Caitlyn talking about stories, I love Cincy stories, social media stories, like Instagram, Facebook, whatever. If you don't want to put your face in it, don't put your face in it. Show yourself changing your wax. Like do like a 3-second video of you changing your wax. You don't even have to say anything. You can type it on the screen later, but just do a hands-free video. Anybody else who has any other suggestions of like how to get into sharing on social media, like slowly or just tiptoeing into it? Ways to help people be more confident in that.
I will say about Caitlyn, I watch her stories and stuff pretty often, and Caitlyn does a really good job of just showing her real life. And I think that is extremely relatable and appealing to everyone. Her customers, probably people who like want to join her. I think people like overthink. I know I don't have my camera on right now, but most of the time I'm not scared to show my face, but I'm actually laying in the bed, so whatever. But going live in your stories, just like Katie said, go use our team page, and don't like, no one there is going to judge you. It'll make you more comfortable. But I think people really overthink like needing to look a certain way or their house look a certain way or to be perfect or to show up, and like really the people watching you, that's not what they want to see. And I mean, I'm guilty of that too. I mean, everybody is, but people want to see real and relatable. So like, don't be scared to show up like with crazy hair or a messy house or your kids running around or whatever. And I think Caitlyn does a great job of just showing up as herself. And I think it is very appealing to people that watch Caitlyn. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, don't make me cry up here.
Well, it's true. You do. You show up and you're very real. And I think like people crave to see that, because we all feel like that. We all feel like we have to have this perfect image or have it all together all the time. But like in reality, nobody does. So like nobody really wants to see that, so showing up as yourself, real, raw, whatever it is, that's what people want to see. And you do a great job at that, Caitlyn.
I appreciate it. I was really scared back in the day of sharing anything because of what people would say or think, and even sharing Cincy. I know a lot of people follow Cincy consultants, and I don't want them like to be flooded with stuff. But when you're sharing, I don't know, I find it therapeutic now. And the communication I get from it, like when I share something real like that, or even consistently sharing the same Cincy post, like I changed my wax, I share it almost every time. They'll communicate back with you. Like they're not scared to communicate with me, I feel like, because I'm showing my true colors. Like they can relate to me. And I've built so many relationships that way to now, you know, building teams or building customer base. I see it slowly growing. Like it doesn't happen overnight, but I can see a difference with sharing. I really can. So like be real on social media. You don't have to be afraid. Just be real with everyone.
I will say too, I like watching Caitlyn's stories because I'll be like, she's over there like, you know, putting the oil in her diffuser, changing her pods, and I'm like, ooh, like I'm all in her stories. Like I know how to do that stuff too, but it's just interesting to me, like the way Caitlyn talks and the way she demonstrates things. And then too, I know that Cincy's not the only thing she ever talks about. I enjoy seeing pictures of the baby. I enjoy like I know all about her animals, her dogs. I know all about she loves to take pictures of food when it's a good steak that her husband has cooked that night. Like, I mean, I know those things because I watch it and it's entertaining to me. So if you're entertaining people too, just sharing your life, that they're going to watch what you're sharing. And then eventually when you start sharing Scentsy, like they know that you share Scentsy too. So if I have any suggestion to make after tonight, if you guys are like, okay, I really am going to try to like do a story tomorrow about something, like it doesn't have to be about Scentsy. It can just be like a flower in your garden or a picture of your kid, but you got to start somewhere. But people these days are really watching stories. So the thing about, excuse me, a story is it's 24 hours. And if you record something and you watch it back later and you feel like you sound dumb, like you can delete it. It's fine. But stories are only 24 hours and people are watching them. And I feel like most people will relate to you. I've had one of the most interactive conversations I had was last summer on Instagram stories or well, links together. But anyway, it was about the condition I have on my arms called keratosis pilaris. It's like little bumps on my arms. And I talked about that in my stories. And I had so many people DMing me, not like, oh girl, I got this product, you should try it. But I'm talking about like, people were like, oh my God, me too. Like, this is what I've tried, or this is what I've never been able to find a solution. Like, let me know what you do, blah, blah, blah. It was just like, people just came out of the woodworks with the same issue that I have. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying you got to like air your dirty laundry or whatever on your social media, but just sharing things that are real. People connect to what's real. So, you know, share anything in your stories, but then also too, share Scentsy.
Yeah, and we've said before, you know, people buy who they're comfortable from. There's 1,000 consultants out there. They see the Scentsy posts, but they'll buy from you when they feel like they know you. They feel comfortable. They feel, you know, welcome. So that's why I feel like sharing personal things that people can relate to really help my business. So that is a big thing.
Yep. And I'm reading the comments and excuse me, Brittany Matthews, like, I keep up with that growing baby on your stories, and all of your beautiful home decor stuff. Julie, like you've definitely stepped it up recently in your stories. And listen, I'm not saying I watch everybody's stories all the time. I don't. I can't. I'm not even on social media that much. But sometimes I get up there, I'm like, oh, what's she talking about today? And I got to click on Caitlyn's stories. I got to click on Amanda's stories. I just want to see what y'all talking about. But I think that already planning to go live tomorrow in our story. So this is right on track. Great. So yeah, you can go, excuse me, use the hands-free option in your stories. I personally like Instagram. I don't know how y'all feel or what platforms you use. And I don't even have Snapchat, but like, I like Instagram stories better because you can do 1 minute at a time and it comes across in four 15-second stories. On Facebook, I don't know if it's just mine, like maybe I haven't updated it or not, but on Facebook, if I do the hands-free option, it only lets me do 15 seconds at a time. So you might notice that. That's kind of annoying because you'll be in the middle of like saying something and you got to stop and like load it and then restart. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so and that's another thing is just if you're not very used to using social media stories and things like that, the best suggestion I can give you is Google or use your search engine and then just try it. Just try it. You can't mess anything up. So anybody else got any tips to throw in here about getting started with? I guess we're really focusing on stories, aren't we? So, but it could be live video or just posting pictures. It doesn't matter, but stories right now just seem to be where a lot of people's attention is. Anybody? And Haley, you don't have a voice right now. So on your stories this week, you could be sharing just pictures and type words up there. Anybody? you all can definitely unmute yourself and talk if you want. Start with sharing your brand. Yes, kind of knowing what your brand is. That's good. I like that, Julie. Caitlin, I loved a lot of the things you had to say, like almost all of that. I took notes today on all the things you said. I didn't get to see the chart, like I couldn't. Maybe you should take a picture if you don't mind. If you want to, you don't have to, and upload it to Warm Blessing so we can really see what your chart, like break it down. But I was taking notes as you were talking about the chart you made, the Venn diagram. And the most significant thing that you said that has stuck out to me, if I had to pick one thing, you had a lot of good things, but one thing I would say, my internet connection is unstable. Nothing new there. Is you said, talking about team building, why does it matter if you work with your team?
It looks like the recording stopped too. Oh wait, there she goes. She's back. She's back.
Okay, so that means wrap it up. But anyway, Caitlin, I wanted to say the thing that stuck out the most to me is the comment or the question you asked is, why does it matter if you work with your team? If you don't have a team yet, just tuck this nugget in the back for later. But I thought that was really profound because it does matter if you work with your team. And how that looks is going to vary from consultant to consultant. But that to me was a question I wrote down, and that's going to be a question that I ask myself and take some notes on. Why does it matter if you work with your team? So, and I love the answers that you had because you learn from them at every title, no matter if you joined yesterday or 3 years ago. Like we all have something to share. We all have something to bring to the table, and we all have something to learn from one another. And of course, the inspiration. So anyway, does anybody have any questions before we go? I want to value everybody's time. It's 9:30. And I got the 10-minute pop-up that we're out of time. So look at that. Perfect. Does anybody have anything they want to throw in? Any 2 cents? Any questions, comments, concerns? Who chatted? If not, or if you think of something later, go to the team page, Warm Blessings team page, and post it there, and we will chat about it. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for attending tonight. Wow, Caitlin, you showed up and showed out, girl, with your attendance. There's so many people on tonight. It makes my heart happy. So anyway, y'all have a great night. Thank you, Caitlin, for sharing, and everybody else who commented and shared something tonight. We really appreciate y'all. So take care. Bye, guys.